Good Saturday morning. Thank you for joining us. We're taking a live look outside, seeing a little bit of cloud cover out there, but we are starting off the morning a lot warmer than we should be this time of year. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Erica Lopez. Meteorologist Chris Spears with us to talk about the forecast. Really going to be warm today before we get some winter really headed our way, Chris.
We have it all in this extended forecast. So yes, as you said, it's warmer than normal. We are 47 over at the airport. We were 50 last hour, so it's bouncing around a little bit. But to put it in perspective, normal low is 23 right now for Denver. Now, if you want some chilly weather, we have it for you too. Up in the higher elevations, some single digits, teens and 20s. But a lot of places are in the 30s and 40s, eastern plains and even out in some of our western valleys. Mid and high level cloud cover streaming in. You'll see that all day today. It's because the big storm sitting in the Pacific Northwest. That moisture will eventually turn into some snow, but not until tomorrow for our northwestern mountains especially. 50s and 60s today, eastern plains, western slope, even high country locations getting in the 40s to around 50, such as Leadville, Vail, Gunnison. It is going to be mild across Colorado. We do have some changes in store though. The mountain snow starts tomorrow for the Northwest. Get a little bit of a break. Another system Tuesday, Wednesday. That one could bring some rain and snow to Denver, something we're watching for you very closely. And then of course that travel outlook. A lot to talk about in the main forecast, Erica. That's all coming up in just a bit.
Oh yeah, keeping you real busy this morning, Chris. Thank you. Right now, Denver police is asking for your help finding this man. Michael Alvarado was last seen around Civic Center Park last night. The photo on your screen right now was taken just before he went missing. Police say Michael has an intellectual disability. Anyone who has seen him or might know where he is asked to call Denver police. That number right now at the bottom of your screen. Family members have identified 2 of the 3 people killed in a Northglenn shooting earlier this month. The shooting happened about a mile from I-25 and 104th Avenue. Northglenn police say when they arrived, they found multiple people shot at a large house party. 3 people were hurt, 3 others died. Family members identified Adan Pacheco and Lorraine Quintana as 2 of the 3 people killed. Pacheco was described as ambitious and giving, while relatives said Quintana was kind and protective. The 2 were a couple and left behind a 1-year-old daughter.
Like, she's not going to know her parents, so we're going to have to tell her stories as she grows up. You know, like now she looks at their pictures and she points at them and she's wondering, like, where are they, you know?
Pacheco's family says he had just finished basic training for the U.S. Army. He and Lorraine were just 20 years old. Northglenn police say no arrests have been made in this case. An Aurora dentist accused of killing his wife was charged on Friday with plotting another murder from jail. James Craig was set to go on trial this week in the March 2023 poisoning death of his wife, Angela. The trial was delayed indefinitely Thursday after his attorney quit. Now he's charged with conspiracy to solicit murder and conspiracy to commit perjury. We don't yet know who prosecutors believe he wanted to have killed. Craig is due back in court on December 16th. The man accused of shooting and killing 2 people in a dorm room at UCCS back in February pleaded not guilty this week. Prior to Nicholas Jordan making his plea, his attorneys requested a delay on his arraignment. The judge denied that, but Jordan has until January 31st to change his plea. A plea of not guilty by reason of insanity is still on the table, and his legal representation is waiting on expert reports. The trial is set to begin on April 7th and is expected to last about 2 weeks. The Denver auditor released a scathing report this week on the city's homelessness programs. As Denver spent more than $150 million on housing the homeless, the report found security was scarce and so was the accounting for the money. 9 News reporter Mark Sounder spoke with the mayor, who insists the problems found in that audit have already been fixed.
These are recommendations we've taken seriously and the recommendations we have already been working on. I've said to my staff, it's a little bit like seeing an audit that says we recommend the Broncos, get rid of Nathaniel Hackett and Drew Lock and look for a long-term quarterback and a long-term coach. We knew that 2 years ago, we knew that a year ago. We've been acting on these. Some of these are findings from 2022, even before I became mayor.
You see these suggestions as things you've already implemented?
And these are things we've already been, the safety changes we were on 10 months ago. We had the same concerns. We didn't think there were adequate safety precautions with some of the providers we had, so we stepped in, we took over those sites, we put these safety protections in place, and we haven't had major security incidents since then.
Mayor Johnston is also walking back his comments suggesting Denver police will try to stop a mass deportation by federal forces. Yet Johnston says he expects people in Denver would resist, and he would too, even if it means going to jail.
Would I have taken it back if I could? Yes, I probably wouldn't have used that image because that's an image I hope we can avoid. What I was trying to say is this is an outcome I hope we can avoid in this country. I think none of us want that.
The mayor told Denverite if President-elect Donald Trump makes good on his plan to send a federal force in to deport every single person here without documentation, then, quote, more than us having DPD stationed at the county line to keep them out, you would have 50,000 Denverites there. It's like the Tiananmen Square moment with the rose and the gun. The mayor told us they don't currently have a plan for if Trump sends federal forces into Denver to round up people who haven't committed crimes. Johnston said they'll have a plan by Inauguration Day. Making national headlines this morning, President-elect Donald Trump continues full steam ahead as he picks who he wants to fill his cabinet for his second term. His latest pick is billionaire Scott Bessent to head the Treasury Department. Bessent is a hedge fund executive and top fundraiser for Trump's campaign. He currently serves as chief executive and chief investment officer at the hedge fund. Key Square Capital Management, he founded that in 2015. If confirmed by the Senate, he will take over fiscal policies for an economy that has gone through high inflation in recent years, an issue that was top of mind for many voters who helped Trump win back the White House. Bessent will also be responsible for implementing any tax cuts that a Republican-controlled Congress may consider. Trump has also chosen Dr. Marty Makary as his pick for FDA commissioner. Makary currently leads the evidence-based medicine and public policy research group at Johns Hopkins. He's also the recipient of the Nobility in Science Award from the National Pancreas Foundation and has numerous teaching awards. Trump said Makary will work under Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who he has chosen as his Health and Human Services Secretary. Dr. Dave Weldon was named as Trump's pick to lead the CDC. Weldon is a former congressman from Florida, as well as a medical doctor and Army veteran. In a statement, Trump spoke about Weldon's time in Congress and says he will, quote, restore the CDC to its true purpose and will work to end the chronic disease epidemic. Weldon will also work under Robert F. Kennedy Jr. within the Department of Health and Human Services.